Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of DEO Growth Secrets. I'm your fearless host, Emmet Scott, and today I'm excited to have Dr. Geith Kallas with us, longtime DEO member, incredible leader, and business owner in the dental field. He's a visionary, he's founder, owner, CEO, and clinical director of Smile Makers Dental Center. Welcome, Dr. Geith Kallas. It's great to have you here. And I'm excited to get into all of the things that you did. But instead of reading it through your bio, I'd love to just chat it through with you because, I'd love to just kind of take our listeners back to where you started because you really started as a very boutique. And now you've really started to grow out a dental empire here, a boutique empire. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay, thank you, Emmett, for hosting me. I am honored and excited. Uh, so, um, through our meetings, through the DEO, we learned a lot from you, and I'm really happy to be your guest. So, the way that I started as any dentist, as an associate, and then I wanted to be better, so I went and I took extensive courses at LVI, that Las Vegas Institute for Advanced Dental Studies, where I learned the cosmetic, then the full mouth rehabilitation, and then the bite. And I really did transform my practice where I did this high-end dentistry. I enjoyed it, and I was just having big cases, smile makeovers, full mouth rehab, and it's been going really nice. A small office, 4 rooms, four team members, and I was like the first one in DC area to be in the smile makeover business.
Mm.
Um, I remember when I advertised in the Washingtonian magazine, I was the first one. And that brought me really good, steady business. Things were going well till a great.
What did the procedure set look like? What was kind of the typical patient coming in at that time?
So they want to look better.
Hmm.
So they just want to look better. Uh, Smile makeover, upper 10, lower 10, or full mouth, 28 teeth. We used to change the bite and get all those beautiful looking white smile. And then Great Recession happened. And then what had happened, then I had to switch into bread and butter of dentistry. Same time, during my relationship with the Gulf embassies in DC area, uh, with my connection, brought me a lot of patients that needed a lot of dental work. So I became the dentist for the Gulf patients, and I had all like princes come from overseas to do their smile makeover, and same time doing the general dentistry grew fast, and then I maybe overgrow myself. So I had to hire more doctors, more specialists. My COO, Francesca, joined me at that time. Uh, she was just front desk person, just answering the phone, and she started helping. And then I remember we got a consultant from LVI to help us, but it could not because that was just a boutique style of practice. Then we brought another one where we start putting systems. And me, I was really busy just working. I was working 6 days, sometimes 7 days.
Mm.
Um, Very busy, very busy.
And you had an associate at this point?
I had couple of associates, endodontist, um, uh, uh, implant specialist.
Mm.
Uh, then also I started hiring general dentist. And I, at that time, also grew the office doubled the size of rooms. Actually, we had 9 rooms at that time in one location. We were working nonstop till 8, 9 p.m., 7 days a week. So,
You were a multi-specialty.
so yes, then we start to because the patient did not want to go somewhere else.
Sure.
They wanted to have everything in my location. So we started hiring all specialists at one point. I think in 2012, we had every specialty: pediatric dentistry, ortho, or
Mm.
surgery, all the above. We were really busy. And then so we got
Were you able to offload some of the procedures you were doing to other dentists at that point, or were they doing the ancillary stuff around you?
no, they start doing what they are good at. And this is here where start the hiccups start, because patients wanted me personally.
Yep. That's where I
So
was going to get to is how do you over,
yes,
right? When you're that much of a staple of the DC area, and we have dentists all the time. They're the staple of their community. They're doing these very high-end
yes.
work, and everybody wants them. And they're like, I'm stuck. It's like a golden handcuff to their chair, literally. So.
That was a big problem. But I could not see enough. I couldn't have enough time to see those patients.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I had really to pull myself back to fewer patients, and I had other dentists helping me with that. When it comes to specialists, was no problem.
Hmm. Hmm.
With general dentists, this is the issue that I had. Uh, but I was there. I was really there. So, I mean, what I did at that time, I just created bigger business. But I was not having any systems. So I was running between rooms, do this, do that, checking the treatment plan, checking what's happening. If something did not go well, I had to go in and fix it myself.
But you did a step that so many miss, which is you turned yourself from being the dentist to being the brand, right? And so even though you didn't have the systems, you were still the brand that was running from room to room, and you started making smile makers, right? The bigger thing that they were coming to rather than just Dr. Callis, right?
Yes, but it was so much pressure on me.
Yeah, yeah.
I really like go back home really tired at night.
Hmm.
So it put so much pressure, and I did not have time for myself, for my family. So, uh, uh, but I enjoyed it. I loved it. I loved it. So, Emmett, I remember I used
But
to go.
was there a break point though? Do you remember a time when you're like, this is not gonna work anymore? Because I feel like change happens when the change isn't as painful as the change of the present, right? So, or the present issue. Was there a moment where you're like, this isn't gonna work anymore? I got to do something different.
Yes, that it happened. And also, I got an advice that I needed to pull out of the chair to be focusing on the business instead of be ill in the business, which is I tried to do, but I couldn't. I couldn't. I didn't have systems. I didn't have. At that time, I remember I just bring associate dentists and just put them in place and just assume they're gonna do what I do,
Mm,
and they're gonna perform the same procedure that I do, or they have the same philosophy that I do. And then it did not happen. So, but most of it was like on right and wrong and pain I need to just address, or issues. I think I lost some patience also because of that.
mhm.
Uh, but I always felt this is growth pain, and I need to figure it out. Uh, and this is when I noticed that whatever that uh, consulting company gave me is not gonna be a solution. And I know that solution is the the principle that I need to look after as a founder and as a now CEO of that company, if you want to call it, that I need to have a solution. How can I avoid any hiccups? And then this problem really maybe doubled and maybe way more when I opened other location for de novo location. And then they also a year after doubled that location. Then the year after opened another location. So now I have 3 locations and no systems. 3 busy locations, no systems. I felt I'm overwhelmed. I couldn't do it. Looked for solution, heard about the DEO, went to my first DEO in 2014. I went there and I was just overwhelmed. It was so much for me. So I mean, so many informations talking about systems. I did not really, I couldn't connect. So went back, kept doing the same over and over. Kept looking for solutions meantime. ADSO, we're in DC. I met Darren, and he told me again how DDO can help me. Went to a couple of meetings. I didn't take actions. Then in 19, I said, that is it. And I joined the DEO. And through that, things start changing. We start looking for systems, start to implementing systems. And this is where the big transformation happened for me.
Tell me a little bit about that transformation, that's an interesting time that you joined 19 just before 2020 hits.
Yes.
And we all are in the thick of it. But it sounds like you started to really appreciate that without some kind of platform in place, without some kind of system, that you just weren't going to get to the next level. That you, as an entrepreneur, as smart as you were, as much as you could do, obviously, you worked your tail off, but there's only so many hours in a day, right? Like eventually you
Yes.
run out of time, and people can feel, and staff can feel, and turnover starts to happen, right? People can feel that there's just not a foundation in place. So after joining DEO, and it sounds like Francesca too has become your right-hand woman here. What was the changing point? What were the systems that you took on first?
So the pandemic happened, and this is also, it was a setback. We cruised through it, just hang in there. And then in 21, maybe, was in one of the meetings. Um, at that, in the pandemic, we lost some dentists and team members. And we had the new ones, but those were really not good. Really not good.
Right.
And I couldn't lead them because I was leading by example. So I cut like this. My crown goes beautifully like this. They had different system, different way of doing dentistry. So in one of the meetings, I noticed that I need a system. I need a system now for the associate to take them and build them and make them the best that they can. And this is where we started. We had some other systems.
That's not that long ago. That's not that long ago for how
No,
much progress that you've
no.
made since
But
then.
some other system, really, Francesca was the one who's doing those systems with it, which is it from the patient's flow to new patients to recall to treatment plan. So we had all of those set, but we're not perfected. So, then we came, we did this associate mentorship program. And this is, we really start changing things dramatically. And this is, I mean, it's very simple, which is I want those associates to be the best version of themselves. So, which is based on having the best clinical excellence they can do, with leadership, effectiveness, and the financial prosperity. Getting those three for any associate, that what's going to make them really great dentists. We figured out the system. We are so proud of it. So we came up then with the pyramid of success for dentists, which is starting from a clinical to the leadership to the financial, which is part, and it also the numbers and the business of dentistry. And this is where we have the associate that they follow those systems, and we work hard with them to achieve the highest level of success that they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we took that and we did it for other team members, from the hygienists to the assistants to the admins. And so, and now, so we are growing also with that. So we're having now all the culture that you join me. I want to make you the best in your field. I want you to make the best, feel the best, do the best, and also compensated the most.
Mm. So tell us how the story ends. Where are you at right now? What are you managing, and whatever numbers you want to share?
So now so we have 6 locations at this point,
Mm-hmm.
and those 6 locations, so I'm the founder, I'm a solo owner. And those locations are vertically growing. So we want to grow those locations to the most.
Yeah.
So me
And
now,
how many associates now are you leading?
we have between full-time and part-times, we have 18. Uh, so me, the way I do it now, so I play visionary. So, and I developed really great leadership team members, Francesca, one of them. And we just hired a new, we call her culture manager. So, and so the one before took us here could not take us to a different level. So I will say, okay, so all what we need to do, we have our systems all based on patient's experience, everything around patient experience, and also a team member experience. So we get those together, get steady operations and measure it. We measure daily so many aspects. So we have a team of analysts that they give us daily, and we'll check also the weekly, we check the monthly, we do meetings, we figure out where problems happening, and then my job is to have the vision, and the team member now I don't need to be there to solve an issue, so they can do it. Also, in the same time, so we look for Six Sigma to solve any issues that we have, and then we have the systems that we have the continuous measures, and we don't let things go wrong for a while till we fix it.
There's a common theme in anybody who is successful and driving profitability. And you named the two things, which is they are systems oriented, right? They're thinking about project prioritization. They're not trying to boil the ocean and do 10 different things. They're thinking about one thing at a time. And number two is they are numbers oriented. They do understand how those numbers drive their business. I'm curious if you could go back to yourself in those times when you were feeling overwhelmed. What would be the biggest thing you would counsel? Because we have plenty of DEO members and others who will just be listening to this podcast who will have questions, and they're going to think, okay, I'm at 2 locations, um, 3 locations, etc. What do what do I need to do to be like Dr. Kallas?
Uh, the way I did it really solo. So, and that takes time. So it takes time and takes effort, but all of this because I worked hard for a long time and I built very sound, strong financial company. So before you go anywhere, you need to be solid financially. This is the most important thing.
Yeah, some
So
people
that is number
measure
one.
too much
So
on number of locations when they just need to be measuring on
yes.
solid profitability per location,
So,
right?
so if you have in one location, you are grossing 1 million, two, three, I don't think you're ready to go for a second location.
Hmm.
You need a certain amount of of growth and certain amount of production and profit. Then you'll be good and strong enough to move because when you move, you're going to have some hiccups. And when you move to add a a second location, and second location before you go, you need to have systems. So you need to have the systems. You need to, or you're going to be jumping between the two. And what's going to happen is going to be the first location is going to cover the cost of the second location.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
before you do that, so you need to figure the systems and you need to put your own systems. So, I mean, my system could be great. Any of those big DSO, they could have a great system. But when you take it and you try to apply it on certain uh, founders, certain solo owners that want to grow, it's going to be so complicated. They need
Mhm.
to find their own, and it's gonna in the end you have to have the systems and the plans. That's for sure.
You had to navigate this too. In DEO, we were just a fabulous community. You were leveraging off of other people, putting it together.
Yes.
You could probably go a little faster had you had Michael as your coach back then. Now you get that
Uh,
on a regular
well,
basis.
absolutely. So now we're developing a new model for acquisition, and I'm talking to Mike and giving me great help and advices. So if you ask me what you need to do, so it's number one, you need to belong to an organization that you can learn from. I'm always, I always been great student. I sit down, I listen, and I learn, and then I go work on myself. So being in organization like the DO, I think the DO is really is one of a kind. So I go there. So I have multiple different dentists did it before me, or owners, or executives, or even vendors. You learn from them. You learn what they've been doing, what they failed at, what I can avoid not to go through that. So this is number one. Um, and then what you need team, strong team. You need that team to believe in you, to really have your ideas. And to do that, you need to also make them growing. And like Francesca today, now Francesca is writing articles in nationwide dental organization. She gives talks. I mean, that makes me so happy. So I support, I push my team to be their best. And the other thing, that technology. When so during the DO, we got really great technologies. One of it is the AI diagnostic. Through that AI today, we got the treatment plan protocol to be the same in any location with any dentist,
Mhm.
and we can monitor it. So you
It's a
have
game changer. We never had that before.
that upside down everything really. So I feel now my patients, if they go to location A or to B, C, wherever, they're going to have the same outcome because we monitor the treatment plan. And that treatment plan really based on technology. So we have the AI, and that gets the X-rays. And also we have the CBCT AI diagnostic.
Mhm.
And we do also the digital scanning for every single patient. So we can audit that and just go in and see if every uh, condition addressed, treatment plan.
That's
Uh,
the other thing I notice about anyone who's scaled well is they understand that the operational components cannot outrun the clinical vision. And by creating a clinical standard of care and driving that first, you really build a strong foundation for marketing to know what they're supposed to do, operations to know what the patient experience is supposed to be, all of those different components. And that's what you've done so well. I'm I'm curious in today's world, and every model's a little bit different, but for you, what would you say is good, better, best as far as revenue per practice? Where do you like to be? How do you think of like, if my practice is at this level, then we're good. And if it's at this level, we're really good. And then there's great. And it's time to open up another one. How do you think about that?
so you need to be profitable. That's number one. So whatever that, I mean, the dollar amount sometimes is not
It
is
varies.
not going to give you idea. So like during the DO, one of the dentists was having almost 300,000 per month, but he's spending $300,000 per month. So that is not it. So you need, so the industry standards, you need the EBITDA to be at least 20%
Yeah, at the practice level. Yeah.
practice level. So this is the 20%, and then you can build on it, and then you give it for that 20%, not 1 month. It needs to be at least 6 to 12 months in the row. So you can, no,
Consistent.
it's
Yeah.
stable,
Yeah.
consistent. So that is number one. And to do that, so I mean, it depends also on that practice, on the debt level. So, but you are now at least 1.5 million per practice. If less than that, I mean, don't consider it. Um, and then you can grow it, and then depends. You have one associate dentist in that practice. Two, do you do all the procedures, or maybe some specialty procedures go to other location of your practices? So it's many issues, but the 20% is a must for at least 6 months, and then you can go and see if you can acquire another one, and then also to like in our organization, say I'm the solo owner, so the exposure all on me. So now the new develop a system and model we're doing wanna get acquisition with uh, associate equity. So in this way, you are holding this a new acquisition to a more projected success. And now we're going to get into a new issue now, had that relationship with this, like a new partner. So how this is going to go, this is going to another story. So
Yeah, every mountain you climb, everyone thinks like I climb this mountain and then I'm done. But then they realize
yes,
business is a mountain range, right? And
yes.
so you climb that one. I kind of last question here. This has been amazing. I mean, what a transformation. I think your humility, your ability to learn and to incorporate. I think so many of us kind of get stubborn and like, well, I obviously have been successful and I have people, I have princes and others flying over to see me, my procedures. No one can do them like I can do them. I've heard all that messaging before and it just gets you stuck, and then you're just exhausted every day and your profitability is not great. And you've been able to remake yourself, over and over through your humility and your ambition. It's really incredible. As you look to the future, it sounds like one of the things is now you're looking towards, okay, what would a partnership with practices look like, which is interesting and will be a new level of challenge. You have the foundation clearly in place with your financials being clear, et cetera. Is there technologies or next level systems that you're also looking forward to in the future, you think?
Oh yeah. So I mean, in the last DEO meeting, so you have new technologies. Now new technologies can listen to the dentist while presenting that treatment plan, and then you can see if that treatment plan was accepted, scheduled, or not. And if not, why? Why it did not uh, go through. So, I mean, this is, of course, I mean, we're all looking at it, and this is going to be this is going to be another step from like you have now the AI diagnostic, and now you're going to have the treatment plan and the verbiage or the language or the way you presented it to the patient. That's going to be, I mean, control the whole thing, and then you can just go back to that associate. Hey, you should have said this and that instead of what you
It's
did.
crazy. I mean, it's so
It's
crazy awesome. It's been something that's been available for like call centers and sales teams and stuff. They've had that AI sitting there, listening to the disposition of people on the call and prompting and all that stuff. But to have those microphones in the operatory and then to have it feed through AI and be able to now have basically the hard skills of the X-ray, CBCT, all that stuff, and the soft skills of what they said, how they said it, how the patient responded, all fed through that computer program for us to be able to be better leaders is amazing. For those who are interested, we do have several of those innovation partners in the app, and we will have a couple at the Treatment Closing Academy in January, which will be awesome to kind of tie it all together. But the way you've integrated things, Geith, this is going to be really fun to watch you do. So,
yeah,
yeah.
and really I love what I'm doing, and it gives me so much energy. I'm late 50s, but I see my friend who, that's my colleagues and my age, they are just so depressed in the industry and they want to get out, they want to sell, and they're tired. And me, I'm just keep going.
You're just getting started. That's what I'm feeling from you. You're just getting started. So fun. You're developing out systems and everything else. If you want to hear more, Geith and Francesca actually, they gave a presentation in one of our breakout sessions. It's now in the app where they walk through their success pyramid that you guys have built, which is absolutely incredible. And we'll have that available in the app as well. Dr. Kallas, thank you so much. Anything else you want to say here in closing?
I think that dentistry is great. And that's what I told my sons. I want one of you to be dentist. So the youngest one is senior now and is going to apply to dental school. I love it. And it hurts me when I see other dentists. Oh, I advise my son not to go to dental school or my daughter not to dental school. I think it's a great profession and we are living the golden age of it.
It's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate your energy. Thanks for coming on this podcast. And if you're interested in learning more about DEO, go to deodentalgroup.com. And until next time, keep smiling.